are live. Hello, everybody. I am so glad you guys are able to join me tonight. I've got the first grocery haul of the season. It's not a real big one, but it was big enough and it was pricey. I'll tell you what, I spent $140 today. Well, I take it back. It was probably about $125 because I ordered my groceries. And so here's the thing. This is the first grocery haul that I'm sharing with you that I've ordered in a very long time. I don't usually order my groceries. I usually go in and pick them up, but we were having some weather. They anticipated really bad weather all day. The schools were closed. My husband drove me to an appointment and the snow was just starting to come. And I thought, why don't we order the groceries and do a pickup on the way back from the appointment? Well, there were no pickups available. So the only thing I could do was get a delivery with a window of 3 to 5 p.m. The young lady brought the groceries out. She brought them up on the porch. My husband helped her get them up here, and it worked out nicely. So that was why I ended up ordering groceries. Now, here's the thing. So as I was going through the Kroger grocery app, trying to decide what I wanted to get, one of the things that it does is it'll bring up previous purchases, and I could decide whether or not I wanted to buy again. Well, there were lots of things in there that I didn't need to buy, but so I didn't get them. But going through, clicking here and there, I forgot something that I definitely wanted to get, and that was carrots. You guys know I put carrot in just about everything. And I forgot to put it on the list. And I was in the process of doing that. I don't know if I got distracted or what, but I didn't add carrots to the list. So I don't have any here to show you guys. And then the window was from 3 to 5. And my husband kept saying, well, should you call him? Should you call him? I said, honey, they'll let me know. Well, I guess our shopper started about 4:30, pulling our order. So she actually got here closer to 5:30 or so or something like that. I'm not sure. And then got them all brought in. So by the time I got them set up, and then we had some company drop in, well, I'm just now getting around to sharing with you guys what I got. So one of the disadvantages, I'll say, for me was that I did forget to order the carrots. And whereas carrots did pop up on the buy again, it was the baby carrots. And that's not what I wanted. I wanted the regular big carrots. And somehow or another, I forgot about them as I was going down the list, clicking on the different items. So there's that. The other thing was that since I was shopping at Kroger, I could use my Kroger grocery card, and I was able to get prices discounted using my digital coupons for my Kroger Plus card. So that was pretty good as well. So I enjoyed that. So let me show you what I got. And you will notice that I ordered a lot of fruits and veggies, a lot of produce is why I ordered, because we ordered a lot of stuff during the holiday time. So the refrigerator was full. And we've also been eating from our pantry as we try to do in January. But my fresh produce, my perishables were pretty much depleted. So I had to order a lot of those today. One of the things that we eat a lot of in this family is apple. And so I ordered 4 of these Granny Smith apples. And I ordered some the last time. I let them sit for a while. And after they sit for a little while, they got sweeter. They were delicious. And then also, I like to use them in a big salad. I've been watching this channel called That Salad Lady. And she has showed me how salads can be more than just lettuce and tomato and carrot. So I use these Granny Smith apples in the salad along with some cauliflower and along with some broccoli. Now, one of the problems with me not being there is, and I guess with it being a bad weather day, there was no fresh broccoli in the store. The lady texted me a couple of times, so she ended up getting these frozen broccoli, this private selection frozen broccoli. And I think this pack of hand-picked broccoli florets was almost $5. Now, I'm going to throw these in the freezer real quick because they've been sitting out for a little bit. So I'm going to just throw these in, and I'll be right back over there. But so that was one of the disadvantages, was that because there was like a run on the store because of weather, they were out of a lot of things, and fresh broccoli evidently was one of those. So I ended up with the frozen broccoli. So there's that. Other things that I got, I did pick up, well, I did have her pick up 2 zucchini, since we're going to be doing a lot of fresh, a lot of produce, a lot of plant-based eating over the next few weeks. I wanted to get some zucchini so that I can do some maybe zucchini and onion or zucchini and tomato stir fry. So I got 2 of those. And then I love to have fresh cucumbers in salads. So I had her pick up 3 cucumbers. So I got those so that we can have salads with those. Now my husband likes this iceberg classic style salad. He likes that. So I had her get a ball of iceberg lettuce, and then this classic style garden salad. So let me just check the date on it. So the date on it is January 17th, 2024, with today being the 12th. It's got a pretty good date on it, and I'm thinking that it's such a small bag, we'll eat this up pretty quickly. I tend to like to get those cartons of spring mix, the large one, and it's got all different kinds of lettuce in it. That's probably what I should have gotten, but I did just throw one away because I had it in the fridge a little too long and was starting to get all wet and soggy. So I got the regular salad that my husband prefers, as well as this, and I'll make a mix with this. And in addition to that, I'll still go ahead and add my apples to that. And then, as I said earlier, we do eat a lot of apples. So in addition to the Granny Smith apples, I got some Honey Crisp apples, and they're so sweet and delicious, and they usually tend to be pretty large. So some days, let's say I'm running late or I just don't want a big breakfast, so maybe I'll just have an apple. So I'll have an apple like this, and I'll cut it into segments with this apple slicer. It cuts it into 8 pieces. And then that's what I'll have for breakfast. And then I'll have maybe a little heartier lunch or something like that. And as I continue to try to work my Weight Watchers program, it's helpful. And I will admit, I've been running amok. So I definitely wanted to prepare my refrigerator so that I would more likely be successful than with all the other stuff that I had in there. Other things that I picked up were the Roma tomatoes. And I love the Roma tomatoes. I like the fact that they're so nice and firm. They're great in salads, so I picked up some of those. They're also good in cooking some other dishes. So there's that. And then we also got these Gala apples. So yes, I got a lot of apples. I got 4 Gala, 4 Granny Smith, and then 3 of these Honey Crisp. So, and we eat a lot of apples. I'll eat the apple, he'll eat the apples, and I might even steam an apple. We might have it for dessert. So these are good, healthy snacks. And then next to those are pears. My husband loves pears, and they're great in smoothies if you're trying to do a cleanse. And so I do plan to make a couple smoothies for breakfast. So I got those. So I see there's a few people jumping on, but I can't see who you are from here. So once I get all the groceries done, I'll take a seat at the table and then we can chat. And I can see who's there, that kind of thing. Now, look at this. I got this beautiful, beautiful butternut squash. And one of the reasons why I got it was because I had been watching the YouTube channel Becoming a Farm Girl, and she had a list of the produce that's in season right now. And some of the squashes were one of them, and she gave recipes for what to do with some butternut squash. So I picked up one of those so I can make one of her recipes. And when I have a seat, I'll tell you what that is, because I got something else to show you from her as well. And then I also picked up this acorn squash. Isn't this thing huge? I mean, look how big that is. This will make a great dinner. So there's that. Now, here's one of the disadvantages that I think of ordering the groceries. I needed onions, and I put yellow onions on there. And I tend to like buy a bag of onions. You know, bags that'll have like maybe 6 or 8 or 9 onions in it, and they're different sizes. Well, she picked three relatively large onions. So these look like two yellow, and I'm not sure what's this, a white one. So these are the onions that I got. Three large ones. So again, I probably have as many onions as I need for a week, maybe even 2 weeks. But I would have picked up a bag that had multiple onions in it rather than getting these onions individually in the produce section. However, the onions do look very nice, so I am not displeased with them. The other thing that I got in my order was red bell peppers, and I just wanted plain old regular red bell peppers, and I thought I put 2 or 3 on the list, but I only got 1. I did request 2 yellow bell peppers, and I got both of those, and I didn't necessarily need an organic, and I don't think I got that, but regardless, I got 2 of those. Then I also wanted 2 green peppers. I had a lot of green pepper in the freezer that I had preserved myself, but I used quite a bit of it when I was making chili sauce and salsa and that kind of thing during making season. So I was out. So I needed to order some of those. But like I said, there was only 1 red bell pepper in the bunch. And I also would have picked a much larger one. So those are my peppers, and they'll be great in some kind of a chili, and then some kind, maybe a pasta dish, or in any number of ways. So I've got the bell peppers. Those are the onions. Something else that I needed was lime. I make a lot of chili. We have tacos or some kind of a Mexican themed food just about every Tuesday. And I made a delicious chicken tortilla soup last week and then put the rest of it in the fridge. And then this week I transformed it to a taco soup and squirt the lime in that. So I only had 1 lime left in the fridge. And so I bought 2 more of those. So I have that. And then I also put bananas on the list. Now, I am pretty picky about my bananas, so I probably would have been better off not doing that because these bananas, they look kind of green here, and they're pretty yellow, but they're probably a little bit more yellow than I would have purchased. I like my bananas to be fairly unripe when I get them so that I can have them for a few days in the kitchen. So we're going to have to eat these pretty quickly. And there's just a little bit of bruising on them there, but they don't look too bad. But these are not bananas I would have chosen. And then garlic. I was out of garlic. Can you believe that? So I put garlic on my list, and so I got 4 garlic balls. So I was glad to get those because I use garlic quite a bit in cooking. So I have 4 of those. And then my husband loves grapes. So I got this bag of red grapes. They were not cheap, but I already tasted a couple of them and they are pretty good. And then blueberries. Picked up a couple kinds of blueberries. And since it's not necessarily blueberry season and raspberries, they were a little higher than I would prefer. But they weren't as expensive as they have been sometimes. Kroger's did have them on sale, so I did get a good bargain on the blueberries and the raspberries. Strawberries I wanted, but strawberries weren't available. So evidently they were out of fresh strawberries, so I didn't get any of those. And then I also picked up some mushrooms because I want to make a dish with mushrooms, and maybe I'll use mushrooms as maybe a protein source or something like that to go with the squash or the zucchini. Well, I wanted some shiitake mushrooms and they were out of those. So I got 2 packs of the baby bellas instead of 1 baby bella and 1 shiitake. So there's that. And that's one of the disadvantages of when you place the order. They don't always have everything, or some things you just can't get. For example, I wanted the pecan pieces. I don't tend to buy the pecan halves. I like the pecan pieces. Well, they didn't have any. They were out. And so she got me the pecan halves. And I was going to have her just get the Fisher pecan pieces. But then I thought they're about $6 or $7 higher than this. So I thought I can crush up my own pecans. So we went ahead and got the pecan halves and split up pecan pieces. We use a lot of pecans. My husband puts it in his oatmeal, puts it in his cereal. I put it in my cereal, in my salads, in oatmeal, that kind of thing as well. So that's those things. We were out of eggs, so I did get a dozen eggs. And then I put cabbage on the list. Look at this cabbage. This thing is huge. This probably is enough cabbage for a family of 6 or 8. So since there's just the 2 of us, I'll cut the cabbage in half when I make it, and we'll have half one day and half another. The good thing that cabbage lasts for a while in the refrigerator. So if I was doing the purchasing myself, or rather the choosing, I wouldn't have gotten one that was quite so big. Maybe I should have put a little note on there, medium-sized cabbage, because this one is definitely large. But I love to have fried cabbage. I like fried cabbage with bacon, or fried cabbage with just a little bit of ham in it. But mostly when I fry it, I'll put just a little couple strips of either black pepper bacon or just regular bacon. And then we'll have it that way, maybe with some cornbread and then some other things. So there's that. And then we were out of milk, and I like to buy this Silk coconut milk. My husband likes it. I like it. And whereas he really likes the almond milk, he will drink this. I don't like the almond milk in stuff. I'll drink the almond milk in cereal, but I don't like it in coffee or anything else. So I got this coconut milk, and it tastes delicious. The Silk is delicious. The Simple Truth by Kroger probably tastes okay too, but I do prefer this brand. And I did get the unsweetened, so I can save a few calories there with my Weight Watchers. And then we drink a lot of Swiss Miss hot chocolate. And so the carton that we have is almost empty, so I picked up another one of those cartons. Picked up 2 of these cases of bottled water. Now, I like tap water. My husband prefers bottled water, and then he prefers that we get these 8-ounce bottles rather than the 16-ounce bottles. So whenever you get the 16-ounce bottles, you know there's always bottled water left sitting around somewhere that goes to waste. So I got 2 cartons of or cases of the 8-ounce bottles like that. He took one out and put it in his fridge already, you know, my outdoor New Air beverage refrigerator. He took 1 carton and put it in there already. But I said, leave me one so I can at least show the folks. And then I needed some vinegar, some distilled white vinegar. I use vinegar in cooking, vinegar in cleaning, but also vinegar in my laundry as a softener. I mostly use it in my towels, not in my other things so much, but I'm going to show you my laundry area in just a minute. But I got the vinegar. And then we were out of napkins, so I had them get me another package of napkins. So those are all of the things that I got on the grocery haul. And yes, so now let me come around to the table. I'll take a seat, and then I'll let you know my thoughts about whether or not it was worth it. So I'm going to try to stay on camera as I make this little switch around, because I know you're not supposed to leave the screen. And I can see who's here. So hello, let me say hello to everybody. So Tina Johnson was the first one. So Tina, I'm so glad you joined me tonight. I appreciate it. And then, hey, Deb. And then Sally is here. Peggy Carey, good to have you with me as well. And then Tammy from Take Me to Tammy's House is here. Hey, Tam. And then Lisa Aiello. You know I say that just like Fly Little Cat does. And Joy Atwood, it has been a minute since you've been able to join us, but I'm glad you're here today. There's Kim. Hello to you too. Hey, Ethel, how you doing? It is always good to see my BFF. I'm Lucy. She's Ethel. And then Tam Reels is here, and she says she agrees with me on the onions. They are nice looking onions, but I like to have different sizes, so I'll just have to make sure that, say I need a medium onion or a small onion, I'll have to, well, you know what? I was talking to Miss Leona this week, and I'm going to do like she does. When she chops up her onions, just goes ahead and chops them up, has them in a container ready to go. I could just do that. That's what I'll do. And then, hello, New Steps. Glad to have you here. So Kim said she did the same thing. She placed an online order today for the sake of time and to beat the bad weather in her area. Yeah, the produce looks really good. I was really pleased. That was one of my concerns, is that whether or not the produce would be good. She did a great job picking it. I mean, all of the produce is lovely. The only thing I'm not super thrilled with are the bananas, but everything else looks pretty good. And Deb says she uses coconut milk in smoothies. I use apple juice in smoothies. I've got Dr. Ian K. Smith's book on Shred Power Cleanse, and most of his smoothies start with apple juice, but he does have some with a milk base. So maybe I'll get those out this week. And Dr. Star, I think this is the second or third time you visited me. Hello, my beautiful one. I am so glad you're here. And then Nita B. Yes, Nita, you almost missed this live. Actually, Nita, it's a grocery haul, and I just showed all the groceries. So you're going to have to stop back to see those. But the question was, I ordered the groceries to beat the weather and to save time. And I wanted to let you guys know how things went and whether or not I thought it was worth it and would I do it again. And I must say, I thought it was definitely worth it. It was so nice. It's like once I placed the order and processed a credit card, that kind of thing, all I had to do was wait. I was able to go to my appointment to pick my delivery time. Now, I did want to pick the groceries up on the way home from our appointment. However, because of the weather situation, there were no pickups available. Delivery was the only option, which you would have thought it would have been vice versa. So I was still overall pleased with that. I can order pickup and I can order delivery, but it was kind of nice not having to go and sit and wait in line for pickup. So I did enjoy that. And I asked my husband, he was in the other room watching, I don't know, game or whatever. And now he's upstairs in his studio so that he's not bothering us with the TV. And I said, well, hon, what did you think? Was it worth it? He said, oh, heck yeah. Because he didn't have to be coming in and out. Now, here was one thing that made him a little uncomfortable. So when the lady pulled up, she pulled up in a nice little white van looking kind of car, put the trunk up, and the first thing she had in her hand was those two cases of water. And he was going to go over to the car and help her bring them in. I said, no, hon, wait here. And it was snowing at this point. I said, wait here. She'll bring them up to the porch. He said, well, I just feel kind of bad having these women carrying all these groceries. Because, my husband is old school. I don't carry groceries. When I go to the grocery store, I come home, I toot the horn. He comes out and he brings them in, puts them on the counter, and then I put them away. And I would prefer he not try to put them away because he just shoves and pushes things wherever they'll go. So he brings them in and I put them away. He felt uncomfortable with her having to drag everything from the car and bring it up to the porch. I said, honey, that's the way they do it. I said, she won't bring them in the house. I said, unless, it's some elderly person that needs that support, they typically don't bring them in the house. And I got to thinking, well, heck, ain't I one of those elderly folks? I don't know, but I didn't need her to do that. So she brought him up on the porch, and then he would take the bags from her and then bring them in the house because he didn't want her to set them down because he felt like that was an extra step. So other than that, he was pleased. He thought, yeah, this was definitely worth it. So he said we would order again. So would I order my groceries again online? Oh, heck yeah. I think I just might start doing this every week. And Fly Lady Cat encourages all of her homemakers to order their groceries. Like you can place your grocery order on Wednesday after you've cleaned your fridge, and I clean my fridge every Wednesday. After you've cleaned your fridge, place your grocery order, and you could arrange for a Thursday pickup or a Thursday delivery. I go to the beauty shop every Thursday, so I could arrange for a pickup on the way home or for a delivery once I'm home. So I think I'm going to start ordering groceries more often. Now, it is about a $10 fee for the delivery. I think it's worth it. Like, I probably saved that $10 and not picking up a bunch of miscellaneous stuff that I would have picked up if I had gone to the store. So you do save in that regard. So there's that. And as I was looking here, let me just go back. So Kim placed an order for the sake of time and to beat the bad weather. Tam agrees that the produce looked good. And then, let's see. So Deidre says she can't wait to hear if it's worth it to order. Deidre, boom, heck yes. It is definitely worth it to order. It just saves you time. And you know, when Fly Lady Cat was encouraging all of us to order, I thought, I like to pick out my own groceries. I like to walk around the store. And my sister, Mickey Blue Skies, was teasing me yesterday because she was talking to my daughter. And she was saying, yeah, she likes to walk around the store and handle each apple. She likes to squeeze each tomato. I'm not quite that bad, but I do enjoy going to the grocery store. And when you're retired and you don't go out a lot, sometimes going to the grocery store is a form of socialization. You see people at the store that that you haven't seen for a while, or you see people at the store that you just end up talking to because you're a social person. So I enjoy being in the store, and I enjoy looking for the manager specials, because on Tuesday morning and other days, they've got this manager special, especially on the meats where they put things that are on sale. Well, when you don't go to the store yourself, you can't see those things. However, I'm pretty pleased with the things she got. Oh, I might have forgot to show you the Brussels sprouts, because I'm going to make something with that. So yes, I definitely think it is worth it. Now, to my young homemakers with little ones at home, or my working parents, my working moms, single moms, whatever kind of parent you are, I think it could be worth your while too to order your groceries, because that hour you spend walking around the store, or if you're walking around the store with littles who are hollering and screaming, running around. I remember once my twins, when they were little, Jill dropped a whole dozen eggs on the floor. Oh my goodness. So yes, it's definitely worth it because you save the time. You can order those groceries, keep your kids at home with you, do whatever you need to do, and then have the person deliver the groceries to the house. And then while the kids are playing, you can put the groceries away. So the $10 that you pay Instacart or whoever it is that does that delivery in your area, I think it's worth it. And you can certainly earn that $10 back, because your time is worth more than $10 an hour, number one. But number two, you'll save by not picking up a lot of odds and ends. Now, Kroger's little computer system could see everything I've ever bought in my entire life at Kroger. So they have a section for buy again, and you can just go through and click to pick if you want to buy it again or not. All the different little chips and snacks and things that I normally buy popped up, but I didn't buy them this time because I decided, when I weighed in Monday, I had lost like 0.2 pounds. But when I weighed in the week before and the week before, I was slowly creeping back up. And that was because I was repeating bad habits. I was picking up chips again. I was drinking more coffee again. I was eating cake, some pies again, leftover stuff from, desserts from Christmas. So I thought, I am going to be intentional. And you guys know my word for the year for 2024 is intentional. And I decided I've got to be intentional about what I purchase and what I bring into this house to eat if I want to be intentional about my weight loss. So yes, it's worth it, Deidre. And Dr. Starr says this is the second live, but she watches my channel all the time. Oh, she's a nurse too, and naturally gravitated to my channel and didn't know why at first. Yeah, you know what? I'm a retired community health nurse. I used to teach at the university here, but I've been retired for a while. But every now and then that community health cap will pop out, and then depending upon what health issue is out there. So yeah, so I'm glad you're here. So evidently you've got your doctoral of nursing sciences. Way to go, you. I like it. So Tammy said, I really got some healthy food. Nice haul. Yes, Tammy, I really got some healthy food. And one of the things that I'm learning as I go on my Weight Watchers journey is that if it's not in the house, I can't eat it. If it ain't in here, I can't eat it. And the thing about the Weight Watcher app is that it'll give you all kind of ideas on things that you can eat. And then if I want to find a recipe, let's say I want to cook that butternut squash, I can type into the app for butternut squash and it'll bring up ideas for me to cook. So I'm really trying to be intentional about all of that. So I only brought healthy stuff. I only bought healthy stuff and brought healthy stuff into the house. If I don't have cake and pie, I can't eat it. So there's that. And every time I say there's that, I think about our YouTube sister, Jerry Barber. Her daughter is still missing. So please, while I'm thinking about her, let me just say a quick prayer. Oh, Heavenly Father, please let this child be somewhere safe and that she's returned home to her family. Help her mother and their family as they struggle through this very difficult time. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Oh my goodness, that just hurts my heart. Um, so now, I think there was a comment from, yes, I missed it. Sorry, I got distracted, guys. You guys know how tenderhearted I am. So, hey, Stephanie, good to have you here. So, Stephanie says she likes DoorDash and Instacart. Now, can you get groceries from DoorDash, Stephanie? Let me know that. I don't know. I know Instacart does because, that's who does the Kroger piece. But whether or not DoorDash does groceries, I don't know. But you can certainly order a pretty nice meal from DoorDash. Yes, Tam, this is just a Friday night treat. I thought, you know what, when she brought the groceries in, I thought, you know what, I'm just going to share it real quick and then we'll go from there. So Deb says she orders hers and picks them up on the way home from cardiac rehab every other week. Yeah, it's just nice to be able to do that. And Sally says a pro for ordering is that she won't see things on the shelf that she might be tempted to get. Exactly. And then the con is she might see something on the shelves that she meant to get and forgot to order. Exactly. Like I forgot to put carrots on the list. But I think the pros outweigh the cons. So Sally said she's going to be giving it a try. She's having back surgery in February, and this will be a blessing. Yes, Sally, what you might want to do is plan your meals ahead, make some freezer meals, get them in the freezer. Start now so that when February gets here, you're ready to go. So Deidre says you tuned in late. Did they substitute anything I wanted but didn't have in the store? So yes, I wanted fresh broccoli. They had none in the store. So they substituted that with frozen broccoli. And I wanted pecan pieces. They substituted that with pecan halves. So they will substitute things. However, she did send me a text message for each item that was either out of stock, that they need to sub, and ask if it was okay with me for a replacement. And I could say yay or nay. Like I wanted parsnips. Parsnips, there were none in the store. So she sent me a note. No parsnips. Do you want a sub? I'm like, no. And I meant to say carrots, but I thought I'd already put carrots on the list and I had forgotten to do that. Yeah, and so as Stephanie says, if you say no and then items out of stock, then they just take it off your list and then it comes off your card at your order. And you don't actually get charged until they deliver the food. So whereas they'll put, let's say the order was $140, they'll put a $140 hold on my debit card. Once she goes through checkout, everything's been charged. Then they kind of see what that's going to be. And then she brings the groceries to the house. They've been delivered. Now the charge fully goes through. And then I get a text message saying that it's been fully confirmed. This is what the result was. Do I want to take a look at the receipt? She does put in a grocery receipt. A regular Kroger grocery receipt comes with those bags. Then I also get one online. Oh my goodness. Hello from Italy. Thank you so much, Italiana. I think you're my first person from Italy to join me. I appreciate it. Thank you. I hope you find this useful. So Lisa says her daughter enjoys online grocery shopping. It saves the budget and the convenience is everything. And it is a way to help you stay within your budget because you can see when you click checkout whether or not you're in your budget. And you also have the option to delete some things. And Lisa says her daughter has 2 boys under 4. And thank you, Tammy, to continue that prayer. Okay, so Kim says in her area, DoorDash delivers from Meijer and Sam's Club. So that's probably what Stephanie was talking about. So they can deliver like that. Now, let me share with you something else. So definitely, was it worth it? Yes. Would I do it again? Absolutely. So now I wanted to show you when I talked about becoming a farm girl. She is my latest YouTube crush. And she does a pantry chat every month where she talks about what food is in season and what you should be stocking up on. And so I printed off her January grocery guide so that I could see what she was recommending. And I had already seen the video, so I kind of knew what was on it. But I picked up mushrooms because they're in season, and there's a couple different recipes you can make with that. Sweet potatoes I already had, so I didn't need to get any of those. But the winter squash, so I got several different kinds of those. But the thing about it, oh, and Brussels sprouts was on the list too. So the thing about it, though, was in addition, she puts recipes that she showed on her video on the grocery guide. And Stephanie at Creatively Miss Me, who's on here today, is hosting a one pot challenge coming up. And the videos go up on February 6th. And I'm going to be creating a one pot meal. And I'm going to be making one of the soups that Samantha at Creating a Farm Girl recommended this month. I'm not going to tell you which one. You're going to have to watch the video. But I'm going to be making one of those, and maybe 2, because most of the things that she requested for the 4 different soups she showed, I have everything here except for, like, I had to order the squash. But everything else I already had here in the house. So I could make them. Oh, shoot. I just realized I put kale on the list, and there's no fresh kale here. That's what's missing. And I went through my grocery list, my grocery receipt, just to kind of check to see everything that was on there. I didn't see kale on there, and I didn't see kale here. So now I have to ask myself, did I in fact click it? Because when I went back online just to check my order, when I was looking for the carrots, I didn't see kale in there either. So I probably forgot to order it. So I'm going to pick up some kale and some carrots tomorrow. So hopefully the weather's not too bad and I can get out. So I might have some in the freezer, but probably not enough. So Ronnie wants to know, how much does Kroger charge for delivery? $10. Kroger's using Instacart, and it was a $10 delivery fee, and then you have to tip your driver. So, and they offer 5% tip for the driver. Now you can change the tip to 10% or higher. So I left it at 5, and then after she got here, my husband gave her another $5, which made it about the 10%. Now Joy says once they substituted 2 single carrots instead of 2 bags of carrots. That wouldn't do much good. I'm not telling you, Stephanie. I was going to make something different, but after I saw Becoming a Farm Girl, I thought that's what I'm making. And I might even make it this weekend. Oh, tomorrow's Saturday. So I'm going to be going to church for a vision board party for the ladies of the church. And I will just stop at either Save-A-Lot or Aldi's and pick up the kale and the carrots so that I can make that soup tomorrow. So Ronnie said that happened to her with bananas. Sister Eleonora, hello, and where are you from? I'm looking at your writing over there, and I'm wondering where you're writing from. And thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate it. I want you guys to know that I love my subscribers over here. And if there's anything I can do that I can create on the channel to make your life easier, let me know. I also changed my channel name to Homemaking with Denise. Instead of This and That with Denise Jordan, I changed it to Homemaking with Denise so that you know more specifically what it is that I'm about. So if you guys could let me know in the chat how you like my new banner. Mickey Blue Skies created that banner for me, and she put in that little avatar with the 1950s housewife, and I thought, I love it. because that's the kind of image I want to portray, like that traditional housewife, except that this lady looks a little feisty. I thought, I'm going to be Donna Reed and not June Cleaver, because Donna Reed was feisty. She was always getting up to something, whereas June Cleaver is just a little bit more sedate. But I want to teach the young homemakers today how to be that traditional housewife, whether they have to work outside the home or not. So I shouldn't say housewife, how to be that homemaker that they need to be for the family that they have. So as I always say, it could be you and your boo, or you and your family. If you're creating and making a home, you are a homemaker. Young college students, males, females, whoever, if you're creating a living space to try to make it comfortable for you and your family, you're a homemaker. And I want to be able to teach you the skills you need to do that. So if there's something you need to know, let me know. And oh my goodness, crafty Scorpio, how the heck are you doing? I'm so glad that you were able to join us tonight. So thank you for that. Oh, so now as I was talking about Cassandra at becoming a farm girl, one of the things that she talked about, she wants us to do this year, is to create a shopping book so that we can keep track of what we buy and the change in prices. So in her download this week, so in addition to the recipes, she put in a price book that you could copy either this way or this way, and then showed instructions on how to use a book such as this and create that price book for yourself so that you can kind of track prices as you go. So I am going to do that tomorrow. So I already have this notebook here. So I thought, okay, it's the perfect one to use for that. And then I have some Happy Mail. Oh, Sister Eleonora, thank you. Okay, Orthodox Muslim. We are mainly from the Arabian Peninsula, so Saudi Arabia, but also Kuwaiti, Qatar, etc. I am so glad you are here, Sister Eleonora. And tell me, what videos can I make for you? And one of the things in my new banner, it talks about homemaking, faith, and lifestyle. So every now and then you guys will hear me say something about my faith, like you guys heard me do that prayer for one of our YouTube sisters whose child is missing. Whatever your religious background is, if you could just say a prayer for that family, light a candle, whatever it is that you do to help send out good vibes or to pray for the safe return of that child, I would appreciate it. Just that would be so helpful. So now I got Happy Mail. Now, if you were on my show Thursday, or rather Wednesday, you already saw this, but I got it from one of my good friends on YouTube. And she sent me a little tea kit. And the person that she ordered it from is called Farmhouse Teas. And I think she might have a YouTube channel too. I'm going to look that up. But it's called Farmhouse Teas, and it says Steeping the Harvest. And it's an herbal tea. And this particular bag makes 10 to 12 cups. And then she gave me two samples, a sample of one called Hazelnut Coffee Tea, and then a Coastal Cranberry Spice Tea. So I'm looking forward to trying those. And then also in the box was a winter balm. So it's like a little salve that you can put on your hand or something, like if your skin is dry. And then like a peppermint lip balm. I was going to say peppermint chapstick, but I know it's not chapstick, but it's a peppermint lip balm. So I was so glad to get that. So that is just so cool. So Sister Eleonora says, no problem. We believe in Jesus too. So we appreciate you, contrary to what the media says. Haha. Okay, well, good. And for even those that don't, everybody wants a child to come home. No one wants a child to be in danger. So I might have to say that prayer often until we hear that child has been found. All right, so those were the things that I wanted to share with you guys. Oh, and so I've been listening to Miss Leona on her channel, and one of the things that she did was talking about it to getting ready for the new year was making sure you had your spices up to date. And so So now let me just see. I want you to see my spice cabinet. See if I can get over there. I'm going to try to turn it so that I'm not off camera. So she talked about making sure that your spice pantry was up to date and all that. So I spent, and this is zone 2 in the kitchen. And so I was doing my 4 15-minute tasks. Ta-da! Look at this beautiful spice cabinet. I went through and let me see if I can bring you over a little bit without knocking everything over. I'm going to try it. I probably shouldn't be trying this, but I'm going to try it. I'm going to try it and see what happens. Yeah, there we go. So here's my spice cabinet. Look how nice and neat it is. I like my spices on the door. Those are the ones I reach for most often, and they're in alphabetical order. And then these are ones in here too. So there's my spice cabinet. So it's all neat. And then I also want to show you my laundry pantry. Ha ha ha. So the laundry pantry is in the kitchen too. And so this is one of the areas that I also addressed as my 15-minute task. So you can see I got all my Dirty Lab stuff in there. All my other stuff that I've been using, I'm not using anymore. I'm only using the Dirty Labs because I'm just loving it. But I do have my, I like to use the OxyClean, my OxyClean White Revive. So that's still in here. And then I got to pour my vinegar in here. So there's that. So I am just so pleased with myself. So when I did my 4 15-minute tasks this week, I got jiggy with it. So I know that's not really relevant to the grocery haul, but I just want you guys to know what a good girl I've been. Okay, ladies and gents. So yes, thank you very much. Thank you very much. So I appreciate you guys for joining me tonight. And just before I started this, I was listening to a video, a live stream on Equip Institute with Florence. And she joined us last week. And she was talking about, again, productivity and how to be more organized. And I was listening to her thinking, okay, she gave some really good tips. So I'm going to go back and listen again because I was a little distracted while I was making sure the groceries and all that stuff was set out. And I do need to put these groceries away. So speak of an angel. Here she is. I was just telling them that I have been listening to you. But one of the things that she had talked about was like, where do you write down tasks that you have? And if you're a little scattered, you guys know I can be really scattered sometimes. So I really want to be more intentional about the things that I do. So Lisa says she will be praying. What is the family name again? The family name is, I think it's Barber. The YouTube sister is Jerry Barber. And she's posted on Instagram and different places about her missing child. So yes, please. And then Andrea wants to know, do I ever dehydrate my own spices? And if yes, how long can you keep them? Oh yeah, I dehydrate my own quite a bit. Let me just grab one. I'm not going to move this again because I'm afraid I might, I'll just take it with me. Because YouTube protocol is you don't leave the screen. So like, for example, this one is marjoram. And so I saved the spice jars. I like the McCormick spice jars. So I will save them. And then I will put my own things in them. Like this one here. This is oregano that I dried and preserved myself. And I've got parsley and other things like that. So yeah, here I've got some rosemary that I dried and preserved myself. So yes, I will definitely dry and preserve my own. And I'm really looking forward to spring where I can start getting my garden stuff out again. Because I love gardening and I love being able to dry my own herbs and things. So yeah. All right, well, we have been on for a bit, but I did want to share with you guys my grocery haul. I wanted to let you know about my new YouTube crush and her wanting us to do a book. Also, La Fame, you make your own spice mix from home dried spices. Kadia on Her Healthy Home, and she's got a new name now. I think it's called an herbalist or herbalist for beginners. But if you click on Her Healthy Home, she used to do some live streams and she would teach us how to make our own mixes for teas and different things like that. So I'm looking forward to that. And then I will make teas for my husband in the morning. And so I will use whole cloves and orange peel and then a few other different tea bags or tea leaves to make something for him that's soothing for the stomach. So yeah, I do that too. I like it. Well, again, thank you guys so much for joining me. And I'm going to let you all go. If you just joined me and you missed it, then please do watch the replay. And let me invite you to sign up for my email list so that you can get access to my newsletter. And it comes out about once a month. I need to be getting that information to Mickey Blue Skies now. But join my email list so that you can get access to the newsletter. In the description box, which it's not in there right now, I'm going to put it in once we're done. I did try to put that information in there, and YouTube kept saying error, error, try later. So I thought, okay, I got to just come back later to do that. But it will be in this description box or in my other videos in the description box there where you can sign up for the newsletter, and that puts you on my email list. So thank you. Florence is going to go through the replay, and then Deb, be safe and warm, and everyone in the path of those storms. Yes, because those storms are coming. After all, it is wintertime, and it is certainly here in Indiana. So I will see you soon. Bye.